Okay, so in JavaScript, we can define data. Okay, so one is what using constant. Const pi equal to 3.14. This is what a constant value. It is immutable. It's not mutable. It's called as immutable. So once you assign some data, you cannot modify that pi. Whereas this one is where variable 1 equal to 0 I have written. So here it is a variable declaring using a var keyword. Here I am declaring variable as well as I am assigning a value. Now if you see here, I declare something like var v1. v1 is what? It is a variable. What type of data we have in this? There is no data in this. That's why we get undefined for this. We haven't associated any data. So therefore, this is nothing but here undefined. Suppose if I put var v1 equal to null. So what type of data this is now? It is null data. Okay, we have two ways. One is what? Where some k I write. Now the value, the type of data in k is what exactly? It is undefined. There is no data associated with k. K is a variable, but the variable is not totally defined. We declared a variable, but we haven't defined it. So in such cases, this is nothing but it is actually undefined. Type of data is what here? It's undefined. No data associated with the k. Next thing what we do, where v1 equal to null. So what type of data we have in this? Null data. Null meaning is what? Missing data. What is the meaning of null? Null is nothing but missing. Data, whenever it is missing, we call it as null. Okay, so in two different ways we can declare variables. One is using var keyword, the other one is using let keyword. Okay, var variable 1 equal to 0, let x equal to 10 I have written. So I have here two variables. First one is what? Variable 1. Second thing is x. There is a difference between these two. I'll explain later. But you can declare variables in two different ways. Using var keyword and using here let x equal to 10. Something like this I can declare variables. So when I define var k, what type of data is associated with this? When you go with type of data of k, it gives undefined. Because we haven't added any data, so therefore it's undefined. Whereas var v1 equal to null we have written. So what type of data it is? It is null type of data. Null means what here? Missing data. Here it is undefined, but here data is missing. So like this, we have undefined as well as null. Okay, so now what I do, I'll explain you further about variables, global as well as local. Okay, we have variables, global variables. One more is local variables. One other type is block level variables. Okay, what is block first of all? A block is nothing but when you write something in curly brackets, we call this as a block. This we can call as block of code. Okay, simply if we put curly brackets inside that, if you declare any variable, that variable is going to be block level variable. So in such cases, you can use let keyword. Using let keyword, if you define a variable, you can define it block level. But using var keyword, if you define a variable, either it can be local, or it can be global. You can declare a variable either globally or locally in that case. Okay, inside a function, if you declare a variable using var keyword, that becomes local in that function. Okay, but if you declare a variable outside the scope of any function, in the script block, if you define that, in such cases that becomes a global variable. So the variables can be global, local, and one more type of variable is what? Even you can define block level variable. In earlier versions of JavaScript, we could not use block level variables, but now it supports defining variables at the block level also. In block also we can define variables. So in the first case, we declare a variable using var keyword followed by variable name. And when you declare a variable, you need to follow certain rules. Even for constants or variables, you have to follow certain rules. Very first character of the variable must be alphabet or underscore. Then subsequent characters can be uppercase or lowercase or digits or underscore. Only these are accepted in a variable name or in a constant name or in an identifier name in general. In an identifier name, either we use say an underscore, or it can be say a alphabet or it can be a digit. Alphabet can be uppercase or lowercase, and digits 0 to 9 we can use, and underscore also we can use. But when you declare a variable, the variable must be starting with a alphabet or with underscore. Suppose if I write something like this, var underscore var1, if I type something like this is acceptable. Reason, it is a valid variable. Similarly, if I try to write something like this, x underscore 1 equal to 100, if I put, this is also acceptable. Whereas if I try to write something like this, 1, 2, 3 followed by ABC, it's not acceptable because it doesn't support this convention is not supported. So therefore, 1, 2, it cannot start with the digits. Variable name cannot be starting with a digit. It can start with underscore or it can start with alphabet, but it can't start with a, say, digit. So once the starting character is underscore or any other alphabet, after that you can have the digits. So writing like this is invalid declaration of the variable. We can't define any variable or even any identifier. Identifiers are what exactly user invented. The other day I was saying you, we write, okay, what we do exactly? We write programs using tokens. What are the different types of tokens we have in our language? First one is identifiers. Okay, second thing is constants. Then we have keywords. Then we have operators. And one more is what? Separators. Okay, we have this many types of tokens. Identifier is what? User invented. Okay, a variable name can be user invented, a constant name can be user invented, a function name can be user invented one. Identifiers are user invented. User defines a construct that we can call as here identifier. So identifier is nothing but an entity which is defined by user. As per the user's convenience, user defines, that's called as identifier. Okay, so identifiers are also sometimes constants. Even constant is also an identifier. But when I talk about identifier, it can be a variable or it can be, say, some function name. It can be a variable name or it can be function name that I call as identifiers. Constants are also type of identifiers, but in the constant, the value cannot be changed. It's read only and it's immutable. Whereas variables are mutable. That means you can change. When you talk about keywords, keywords are reserved words. Already we have that in the JavaScript language, like while loop, if condition. Okay, all they can be where keyword, let keyword. All these are keywords. They have intended purpose. We cannot use for your own purpose. Such words are actually here keywords. Example, let is a keyword, where is a keyword, while is a keyword. Okay, similarly, switch is a keyword. Also we have if is a keyword, then for is a keyword. All these are nothing but keywords. They have predefined meaning. Like in English we have, say, something like is, was, have, has, are, I. So like that we have certain keywords. We have to use them for their intended purpose. See, the same way here we have a keyword let, we have keyword where, okay, we have while. All these are nothing but, we say it as keywords. They have predefined meaning. For that purpose we must use it. Then we have operators. I told you the operators yesterday. They are what exactly? Arithmetic operators, relational operators. Then we have comparison operators, equal, unequal, greater than, less than. All of them can be called as actually equal, comparison operators. Then we have bitwise operators. One more thing is shift operators. And other thing is what? Ternary operator we have. So like this we have different types of operators. Okay, operators basically what they do? They work on the operand. They perform operation on the operand. For example, if I write here a plus b, I write here a, then plus b I put. A is what? A is an operand, b is an operand. Plus is what here? Operation. Okay, a is called as operand, b is also called as operand, and plus is what exactly? It is a operation. A plus b is nothing but an arithmetic expression. We form arithmetic expression when you write a plus b. A is operand, b is operand, and this requires here two operands. That's why we call it as binary operation. We call this as binary operation. Okay, because it requires here two operands. So we call it as binary operation. Similarly, I write here minus a. So when I say minus a, this is what unary operator, because this requires only, okay, this is called like here unary operator because this requires here only one operand. Okay, this requires here only one operand. That's why we call it as unary operator. Either minus a, or we say a minus minus, something like this also we write sometimes. So this is what it is, a unary operator, because this requires only one operand. We call it as operand actually a. Reason, this requires only one operand. Minus minus is a unary operator. It's going to subtract 1 from the a. If a is 10, when you write this a minus minus, it is going to be equal to a minus 1. That means it's going to decrement 1 from the a. So a minus minus is what exactly? It is a expression. I can say it is a monomial expression. Probably you know about these things: monomial, binomial, trinomial, quadrinomial, or we say polynomial in mathematics. So a minus minus is what here? It is a unary operation. So it is using one operand a minus minus. Or else if you take this minus a, it is also unary operator. It is requiring only one operand, and minus is what here? Negative symbol. So like this we have here operators, and similarly we have one more operator is what here? Ternary operator. We saw yesterday how that works. Question mark is what exactly? It's a ternary operator. So first it takes like this: expression 1, then we put here a question mark, followed by here say expression 2 colon expression 3. Like this we have. So this is called as here a ternary operator. This requires 3 operands. Expression is the first operand, expression 2 is the second operand, expression 3 is the third operand. So it is trying to find out here whether this given expression is returning a true value, then expression 2 will be evaluated, otherwise expression 3 will be evaluated. So this is what exactly a question mark operator, or we say a ternary operator. We call this as a ternary operator. And apart from this we have separators. Separators of comma is a separator, then similarly dot is a separator. So we have colon is a separator. Like this we have various separators. So we use them to separate the variable names, or whenever you are passing arguments to functions, at that time also we use. So these are called as separators. So therefore these 5 are called as tokens. Whenever you want to write any program, you need to write statements. With the help of tokens only you can write the statements. Okay, so in English we say sentences, but in computer programming language we call it as a statement. To write a statement we require tokens: identifiers, constants, keywords, operators, separators. These are all what exactly? These are tokens. Using them you write a statement. Suppose I write something here. Suppose I write here a equal to some 10. This is what exactly? It is a statement. A is what? A variable, and equal to is an operation. 10 is constant. It's literal we say. So like this we write a equal to 10. So this is what is a statement. It's nothing but a statement. Similarly I may write something like this: if a greater than or equal to 10, followed by I write something like this. So this is also nothing but a statement only here. So this becomes actually, in this you can put independent statements, individual statements. Together we can call this as a compound statement. To create a compound statement we use curly brackets, and this is what exactly? A block. It's called as a block of code. So like this we write the code here. So in such cases what we do exactly? We use tokens. With the help of that we can define such things. Now let us write actually yesterday's file I open. In this itself we try to add more. Open with here. Okay, I launch Visual Studio. That would be better always. Visual Studio Code. So from this I'll open even odd. This is what 3.5 py we have here. So instead of that we go with the even odd, not pi. Fine. So close folder. Then go to open file. From the desktop we choose it. This is exactly uh, even odd. This is the HTML page I'm opening. You can write JavaScript only in the HTML page. Now in this, if you see, we have written a function even odd. With the help of that, we are trying to find out whether the given number is an even number or not. This can be called as one statement. We end statement using semicolon. This is what another statement. This statement is returning an even value or odd value into the variable even odd, depending on the condition. This is the expression 1. In this expression 1, we are checking whether a number, when we divide with 2, the remainder is it equal to 0. So if it is equal to 0, we return even, otherwise we return odd. In the same way, this is going to be another expression, but here what I do exactly, I can change here the value in the span. Right now there is no value, but when we click on the button, what happens here, it is going to, the value will be getting filled here. What value it will be filled? Depending on the number you entered. If you enter even number, if you enter something like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, it's going to be even. If you enter 3, 5, 7, 9, in that case, what happens? It is going to be odd value. So in this area right now, there is no data, but here it will be getting filled with the help of this. What I do here exactly? Document.getElement by ID res. What happens in that case? It's getting the hold of this span element. It's called a span element. It is not a block level element. It's not a block level element. Whereas paragraph is a block level element. Body is a block level element. Div is a block level element. But this is what, it's not a block level element. But inside this, I want to write it. So how can I get the hold of this span element here? Using document.getElement by ID, then res. The ID for this is what? Res. ID we use in the JavaScript. Okay. Whereas name we use in the server side code. Suppose same data if you are sending to server, in that case, how server can understand? Using name variable here. So we have a name. In the name, you write the variable name. So with that, server can understand that. So here what is happening? Document.getElement by ID res. Okay, then it's getting hold of this span object. Then what I'm doing here, I'm writing a value into this. Inner text equal to the number is even odd. Here I'm getting either even or odd. So therefore, it is going to be getting inserted between these two places, between the two span tags here. So here it's getting hold of the span object. Like this, we have written a function called even odd. Now let us come to the variable declarations. Here I declare a variable that my global, I put like this, my global equal to, I put some 100. Okay, I'm writing like this here, my global equal to 100. Then here I want to print it. Alert. Then what I say, instead of saying alert, what I do, I just type console.log. Okay, console.log, then followed by, I want to print here my global. Just a little bit. So here, what I do exactly, I want to print this information here. Console.log followed by my global, I type here. Now what happens when I run this program? It is going to be printing that particular thing. Now I save this. Then what I do here, I come to this particular even odd. I run this. Apart from that, what I do here, I open with the help of this inspect. I go to console. Automatically, what it is printing here, it's printing 100. How 100 is getting printed? Because I have written something like this, my global equal to 100, then function even or odd, whatever code in the function is required that I have written. Then what I do here, console.log my global I have written. That means what happens here, whatever value we have in the my global, it gets printed here. It's going to print 100 value, or by default, it's going to be getting printed. Because I am here logging it, console.log my global. Explicitly, I need not write that because it's part of the script. Whereas even or odd has to be invoked. From where we invoke, when we click on the button, in that case only this function will be invoked. automatically this will not be getting invoked. So here what happens, on click equal to even or odd, when I click on the button, then this function will be getting invoked. But here I have declared a variable where my global equal to 100, then function even or odd. Okay, then I am trying to execute this. Now next step what I do, I write like this. I write here console, okay, console dot log. I'm declaring some another variable inside the function called even odd. I want to print even odd here. What happens? See, now when I try to print this variable, here it is undefined actually. What result we get? Let us see. I refresh this. What it says here, uncaught reference error. Even odd is not defined. What it says here, even odd is not defined. Reason, it is local to the function. What is the function exactly? Function even odd we have written. So it is available only in that function. You cannot print this even odd outside the scope of the function. Therefore, it gave error here. Reason is what? Even odd is not available here. Why it is not available? Reason, it is declared inside the function. So since this is defined inside the function, what happens here? It is not available. Okay. So it is not available here. Therefore, it prints undefined. It is nothing but undefined only. It's not undefined. The variable is not available here, first of all. Reason, even odd is available only in the even or odd function. Inside this function only, it is available. Once you come out from this function, it will not be available. So therefore, even odd is nothing but a local variable. We call this as a local variable. It's local to only this even or odd function. Okay, whereas my global is available everywhere. So you can print it, it is available inside the even or odd function or outside also. So what we do now, we call that now. We write here console.log. Then here I write my global variable is. My global variable value is. I put something like this, then followed by, I go with plus symbol here, then print my global. Like this I print. So what happens now? It should print that value. But when this value will be printed? Whenever I click on the button. Now here, I just refresh it. So it is usual as usual it is. But when I enter some value like 34, I click on this. Okay. It's not totally, console is not written. Because of that, it was giving error. Anyway, refresh this. Now here I enter 34, then get even or odd. What it says here, my global variable value is 100, it's printing. But when it is printing exactly, whenever we call even or odd function. When this function is getting called, whenever I click on the button, on click only, we call this function. So I've defined even or odd. This is called as here definition, and this is called as invocation. I'm invoking the function, or I'm calling the function. Calling a function is different from defining a function. I've defined function here. Okay, so definition is here, but its invocation is somewhere here. I'm invoking here. When I'm invoking, whenever I'm clicking on the button. So on click is nothing but a behavior. When you click on the button, it's calling this particular function here. So when function is getting called at the time, I can print. Here, I can see my global variable value is plus my global I have given. So what is happening? It's printing here. My global variable value is 100, it's printing. So my global is nothing but it is a global variable. It is available anywhere in the given document. Anywhere in the given HTML document, this variable will be available. Whereas even or odd, okay, even odd we have here. So if you come to this even odd, it is available only within the even or odd function. Outside the scope of function, it's not available for us. Similarly, one more thing I introduce here. I go with this. Okay, now inside this what I do, inside this what I'm doing is, I declare here some variable where x equal to 24 I write. Similarly, let y equal to, I put 100 or 100 or 150 I put. I'm writing like this. Then here, what I do, I print like this console.log. then I write here the value of x is, I can put like this, then I go with the plus symbol, then I put x. Next thing what I do, the value of y also I write. Okay, now I come to this point, then here I write the value of y is. Now I want to take these two, I want to print outside the scope of this particular curly brackets. Okay, so I have this curly bracket starting here and ending here. I want to print here. When I want to call them, what happens? See in this. They're part of the function. When I call this one here, what happens? Let us see. Again, I refresh this, then enter some 35. If you see here, first of all, uncaught reference error. Why do we get uncaught reference error? Because of this. These two are getting called automatically. My global is available, but even odd is not available. That's why it says error. Even odd.html, even odd is not defined, it says, because we define the variable only inside the function. Inside the function only it is available. Outside the scope of function, it's not available. That means the even odd is only local to the function. Function name is what here? Even or odd. There is a function inside that it is available. But when you come to line number 23, we are trying to print even odd. Okay, so it is not available, therefore it gives error. What error we are getting? The error is here uncaught reference error. So the even odd is not available, therefore it says the uncaught reference error. Whatever you are referring, it's not available, so therefore it is reference error. And it says it's not defined. Because it's not globally defined, it is somewhere inside the function. So therefore it's not available. Now here we entered 35, then we clicked on the get even or odd. So as soon as we go into the function, first it prints my global variable is plus my global. It is printing this my global variable value is 100, it says. So it is saying it as 100 for us. Okay, now when we come to this particular thing here, when we come to this particular thing, what is happening here? Here I should put y, and here also I should put y. I put just x. This is one problem. So let us run once again. Now I refresh, then I go with the 35. Then one more time we are getting y is not defined. Why it is C now? Okay. Now when we click on the button, what is happening? This function is getting called. When the function is getting called, immediately first what is happening? My global variable value is 100, it says. It's because of this particular statement. Next thing is what? We are coming into this block. We are coming into, but of course this is changing here. It's printing even or the number is odd, we are printing there. That is okay. Then after that we come into this curly brackets. This is called as here a block. So in this block I am declaring two variables. One is what? Var x equal to 24, let y equal to 150. I am declaring here two variables. See here. Var x equal to 24, let y equal to 150. Then immediately I am trying to print console.log, the value of x is x, console.log, the value of y is y. I am writing like this. Now what happens with that? See here. The value of x is 24, the value of y is 150. That is fine. After that what is happening? This block is getting ended. So once this block is getting ended, where the control is coming? It's coming into line number 18. So in the line number 18, what happens here? If you come to this in the line number 18, it prints the value of x is 24. See in the line number 18. So what it prints? The value of x is 24. But when it comes to the value of y, it says here uncaught reference error. Y is not defined. Reason, I have declared a variable using var keyword. It is available in the entire function. Whereas I have declared here variable using let y equal to 150. The y, whatever variable you declare using let keyword, it is available only in the block level. It's not in the entire function, only the block. The block is starting in the line number 11 and ending in the line number 16. So variable y is available only within the curly brackets from line number 11 to line number 16. But we are trying to print it in line number 19. Here it's not available. So the scope for the y is what? At the block level. Only in this curly brackets it's available. Outside the scope of curly brackets, y is not available. Because of that, it's giving here error. But x, it is available in the entire function because we declared it using var keyword. Var x equal to 24 we have written. So therefore, x is available in the line number 18, but y is not available here. Reason why we are declaring inside the curly brackets. This is called as local. This is the block level. So in this block, we are declaring a variable using let y equal to 150. So using let keyword, you can declare a variable inside the block. Whenever you want to declare a variable which has to work only in one in block, you can do that with the help of the let keyword. If you want to declare a variable either globally or locally, then in that case you can declare a variable using var keyword. Okay, so if you declare a variable using let keyword, only in that block it is available. Outside that block it will not be available. But suppose instead of going with var num equal num, if you declare let y, so in that case what happens, it will be available in the entire program. Now that also I show you. Okay, so here I write let m equal to 200. Let us try to print m in both the places. Here inside the brackets we see console.log m is, I put like this, then plus symbol, then followed by I put m. Then same thing I want to print here. So this time also without any problem it should print for us. Let us run this and see. Okay, because m we are declaring somewhere in the function on the top. Okay, therefore we are declaring the let m equal to 200 at the top. What happens here? It's going to be available even after the curly brackets. But if you declare something inside the curly brackets, it's available only here. So it's starting at this curly bracket and scope is ending at this curly bracket. Anywhere in this, m is available. So now it can print m in both the places. Now I enter 56. See, since it's giving error here, okay, control further is not going there. It's not going control further. So that's why what is happening, it is stopping there itself. So what is happening here? It's giving error here. Further, it's not going. That's why what I do here in this area, I just put try catch block. I can put try, then I go with the catch block. So catch is going to be catching the errors for us. Catch, then right here. So catch we put some ex we put. And then inside this, what I do, we can actually show the message. But we need to put this outside. Or else, instead of going with the catch, what I do, I can just change them. Okay, so here I don't use any catch block. Here console.log I put on the top. Here itself I put. I don't want to put after the y, but before that only I would like to put it. Or after x I want to put that. Now what happens? See here. So refresh this, then enter 45, go with this. Spelling mistake. Okay. Spelling mistake it is. Here also spelling mistake. Due to that, it was not printing. Now refresh it. Then here type 45, say like this. My global variable value is 100. My value of x is 24. The value of y is 150. Then m is 200. The value of x is 24. M is 200. But when it's giving error exactly whenever you try to do with the y, because y is part of actually the curly brackets. Inside the curly brackets we defined y, that too using let keyword. Here I am defining m using let keyword, but the scope is actually much more because it is working in between these two curly brackets. So these two curly bracket scope is much more than these two curly brackets. So therefore y is available only in the curly brackets line number 12 to line number 18, whereas m is available from line number 6 to line number 24. So using let, you can make variables only at the block level, whereas using var keyword, you can declare a global variable or you can declare a local variable. So inside the function, we have one local variable, that is num even odd. Even odd is not available here in the line number 27. Similarly, if you try with M, what happens? See here. So just write console.log the M. Okay. So we try to print the M here. Now what happens? See. Enter 55. So it is stopping with the even odd only. Reason, after this, the program is not executing anything. It is coming to grinding halt. Now instead of even odd, we print this one here. Now with this, it is going to be getting stopped. M is not available. It says enter 55. Now what it says? Uncaught reference error. Y is not defined. M is 200. It says here. 1 minute. Okay. The value of X is 24. That is okay. But my global is not getting printed here. The value of X is 24. How many times M is coming? Only twice it is coming. It says uncaught reference error, Y is not. And it says here uncaught reference error, M is not defined. It's correct. Because we come with the console.log my global. Then after that, what is happening? It is getting stopped. This code is not getting executed further. It is just stopping here itself because M is not available. If you see clearly, first 100 is getting printed. Then after that, what is happening? The M is not available. Therefore, it's giving error there. It's stopping. Okay, so this flow is getting stopped here. But when we click on the button, it is trying to run this. When it is running here, global variable 100, X is 24, Y is 150, M is 200, the value of X is 24, M is 200. But after this, when we go with this console.log, the value of Y is Y. When we write here, what is happening? It's printing again, the Y is not available. So like this, we declare the global as well as local variables. Okay. Now in this new program, we try to use plus plus, minus minus, and other shortcut operators. Also, we look into bitwise operators. Now here, what I do, first I create some HTML page. HTML. Then inside this, I can go with head. Then inside this, then I have a body here. Okay, I go with the body. Then inside the body, whatever elements I have to put, I'll put. So here, I define one text area. So text area can contain multiple lines. I define this as text area. Okay, this can contain multiple lines. So text area in this, or else instead of text area, I try to use here a div tag. So just go with the div. Okay, div ID is inner. Okay, this is ops operators example. I write like this. I put the ID as operators example, put something like this, then close the div. Now on top of that, I want to put a button. Okay, button ID equal to, okay, this is show operation. It's a function name. So show operation is, I just put btn1, otherwise button name is nothing but btn1. In this, I want to call a function. On click, it's equal to show operations. Like this, I'm defining function. So in that function, right, demonstrate operators. So it is something like this. I have written. I need to define a function here inside this. So what I do here, I can write this way. This is script. This is script tag. Inside this, I'm going to declare first of all some variable. So that variable is var output. This is what exactly empty string I'm making here in this. It is going to be empty string. Now I want to perform various operations here. I take like a equal to say some 10, then b equal to I take 3. So on these things I want to perform various operations. So first thing is what I want to go with the plus plus. I want to go with plus plus. Then I want to see here. Here write output equal to output plus. Here I write function here. Some function I write function. The name of function is here show operations. This is show operations. Then put like this, put a curly bracket, then close somewhere here the curly bracket. We are going to write here a function we are defining show operations. Here I am not using any keyword, that's why it's giving a error var a equal to 10. Similarly, I write var b equal to, again I write 3. So why this is giving error here? Okay. And once again I try to declare this. Here I define var a equal to 10. B equal to, I put this as 3. Okay. Expression expected. It is correct only. What is the wrong thing in this we have? Function show operations. So any error in this? I think no error. Next we write here output equal to I've taken var output equal to empty string, that is okay. And here function show is part of script only. This is correct. Nothing wrong in this. Why it says error like this? Function show operations. So it is showing like this in this color. Why it is showing here error? We're getting everything in the this color here. But when I go here, what's the problem in this? Body is getting closed here. Then HTML also getting closed with the head we have. Head is getting closed here. Okay. And here once again we delete this. We'll try to define a function. Okay, then followed by here. This is show operations. Params, it's saying no params are required. We don't require params. Just we define inside this. We define here var x equal to say some 10. Right, var y equal to put it as 3. So next step in this, what I define is output equal to, what happened? Kiran?
I think operation should start with capital. I think so, sir.
No,
Oh,
nothing like that. You can write here if you see. Is it anything like that? Even or odd is correct only. Okay, no problem in that. Simply IntelliSense is not working. Sometimes with this we face difficulty. There is nothing wrong in this. It's correct only. Okay. So output equal to what we write? Output plus, then here in this, I want to increment when X is incremented. When X is incremented, X equal to, here I put plus, then I write plus plus X. Like this, I can write. Okay, then here in this, what I do is, I can go with document dot get element by ID. Get element by ID. So here we specify the ID. What is that ID exactly? btn1 is the ID dot, we write this as inner, it's not btn1, it should be this div we need to take. Okay, take div. So inside this div I put then dot inner. When I go with inner, then say text. I can put here inner text equal to, it is output. We put like this. Now let us try to run this. So we take this one and save as. So on the desktop I share this one. We put operations dot html I put. So I have declared that as actually JavaScript, that's why it is giving error. Fine. So I go with the HTML now. Now save this. Now the errors disappeared. Okay, errors got disappeared. Come to this one. Now try to run that operations. So when I click on this demonstrate operators, it says when X is incremented, X equal to 11. So it is working like this. But this I want to show like in the paragraph. Okay. So here I put like this. Go with the P. Okay. When I start with the P, then here it is, we can go with the P here, then X equal to, we have written something like this. Then after this, what we do is, we go with this slash P we can put. In a paragraph mode, we are showing this. Now in this, instead of going with the inner text, this time we use it as inner HTML. Dot inner HTML. So equal to what I write, output I write here. So this time it should be like HTML. Paragraph, it should be coming like HTML inside this. Refresh it. Okay. So the P is not closed properly. That's why it is looking in that way. P, the tag is missing in this. Because of that, we have in that way. Now once again, refresh, click on this. It is like a paragraph we get. It's nothing but paragraph element, and we can put even style in this. So what I do then in such cases, I need to use single quote. I use here a single quote. Okay, then inside this I can go with a style. Right, style is equal to, in double quotes I put color followed by red. Like this I can put it. Color is going to be red color. Now once again run this. Something wrong in this. Where is the problem? Let us see. If we go with the console, HTML button not defined, it says uncaught reference error, it says. So where do we miss that? Color red we have taken, style. Okay, and here this must be a single quote. One is single quote I have taken, one double quote I have taken. Due to that, we have a problem. Still, it says show operation is not defined. It says show operations we have. Okay, when we click on this, it says here plus x, then p we have. Okay, one more is added. Because of that, probably. Now it says when x is incremented, x equal to 11, it says it is shown in the red color. Next thing is we go with decrement again. We try to see when it's decremented how it is. Okay, so x is decremented. What happens in such cases? Minus x we put. But this time I want to go with the red. I don't want to go with red color, but I want to go with the green color here. I'll see here green. The color must be in green. I put that. Now render. We are getting the green color. First one is red color, second one is green color, and this is a paragraph. When you click on this, you can see this as a paragraph. We are seeing here paragraph. First one, red color we have. So this is something like actually, this is actually here. We are saving it as HTML text. It's not actually normal text. I go with font size. I can increase the font size in this font size. Go with this, then say 20px. Now this must be much bigger. Font size must be much bigger. I'm styling with the code. So when I say this you can see much bigger than compared with the next line. That means the font I have changed here. So like this, I am assigning to the div other HTML elements. So div is what? Therefore, div is a container. It can contain other elements inside that. So this is a block level element, and paragraph is also block level element. That's why what is happening every time when we add a paragraph, it is starting at the new line. Okay. So next, let me demonstrate other things also, like bitwise operations. Here write okay. So here when x is when x and here I write y. So equal to, here what we write, we are going to write in this x, then and y we put. This is called as bitwise operator. What result we expect now? In this case, this one I take as blue. I want to take this as here blue. Okay. So what is exactly bitwise operator? Bitwise AND operator I am taking here. So in the case of bitwise AND operator, x equal to I have 10, y equal to how much it is? 3. Okay. X equal to 10 means binary value how much we have for this? 1010. Is it correct? In the units place 0, in the 2's place 1, in the 4's place 0, in the 8's place 1. So 8 plus 2 is 10. But when you go with the y, in the case of y, in the units place 1, in the 2's place 1, in the 4's place 0, in the 8's place also 0. So this is 0, 0, 1, 1. We have like this. When you perform bitwise operation, what happens? It is going to be checking in both the numbers. See in the first number, in the units position 0, in the second number in the units position 1. So if both of them are 1, in the first number in the units position 1, in the second number in the units position 1, in the new number, in the units position, that's going to be 1. So therefore, here the last is going to be 1, or else we can come from the left side. So in the first, say, number, in the 8th position 1, but in the second number, in the 8th position 0. So 1 and 0 is going to be 0 here. We can write this as 0. Similarly, in the 4th position, in the first number 0, in the second number in the 4th position, it's 0. 0 and 0, 0 only. But when you go for this one, in the 2th position, it is 1 in the first number. In the 2th position, in the second number also 1. So 1 and 1 is going to be 1 here. In both the numbers in the same position, if it is 1, in that position, in the new number, it will be 1. Like that it's going to be. And here what happens? In the units position 0, in the units position, the second number 1. So therefore, this is 0. Ultimately, what result we get here? It should be 2. What we have to get is 2 here. when you go with x and y, the value must be 2. So it is 0, 0, 1, 0. Let us see the result. So we have written like this. This is what exactly when x and y equal to, it should be what exactly? 2 we have to get. Run this. What it says here, when x and y equal to 2, this is exactly what 2 we are getting here result. Remove the when symbol here. Understood this? This is called as bitwise AND operation. Similarly, we have bitwise OR operation. So when we go with the bitwise OR operation, we have 4 digits here. We have here one more, once again 4 digits. Then when you go with the OR operation, we start from the 8th position. In the first number at the 8th position 1, in the second number at the 8th position 1. So sorry, 0. So 1 and 0 is going to be 1 if it is OR operation. Similarly, in the first number in the 4th position 0, in the second number in the 4th position 0. So 0 and 0 is 0, 0 or 0 is 0 only. But when it is here in the first number in the 2's position 1, in the second number in the 2's position 1, 1 and 1 is going to be 1. Similarly, here when you come to this one, in the units position in the first number 0, units position in the second number is 1, so 0 and 1 is going to be 1, like this. So 1 0 1 1 is how much here? So this is going to be 11. We get a value 11 in this case now here. Okay, so we go with the output again. This time, so this time we'll write this as color is not going to be blue. Here I want to put color as cyan. Okay. Otherwise, we can go with hash. We can put something like 9955FF. Some color like this we can put. So color we are defining like this. X followed by R this is. So bitwise OR operation, here it is. Okay. Now we get in a different color, 9955FF when we take, that's going to be altogether new color. Now here click on this. It says X or Y equal to 11 because it's performing here which operation? Bitwise OR operation. So we are performing here bitwise OR operation. In the same way, you can go with exclusive OR also. So we can go with exclusive OR option. In that case, it is X caret Y we take. We are going to take X caret Y. So this is, and here also we use X caret Y. This should be giving us what value? X is for us 1010. Okay, for Y it is 0011. That means in the given position, either in the first number it must be 1 or in the second number it must be 1. When in both the places it's 0, it is 0. In both the places if it is 1, it's going to be 1. So therefore, what result we expect from this? 1, then 0, 0, 1. This should be 9. Because in the units place 1, in the 2's place 0, in the 4's place 0, but in the 8's place 1. So 8 plus 1 is nothing but here 9. So we get the value as 9 now in this case. So run and see what we get. It says X bitwise OR Y equal to 9. So X bitwise AND Y equal to 2. X bitwise OR Y equal to 11. X bitwise say exclusive OR Y equal to 9. So like this we can use the bitwise operators. Okay, so like this you can be working with the bitwise operators. Similarly, we have shift operators. So what are shift operators? You can shift the bits. So this is called as right shift and this is called as left shift. Suppose X equal to 10. Okay, now you are shifting it by 3 digits. What happens? See. So what you do here, X by 3 digits. That means what? From left side, the bits will be moving towards right side. So in that process, what happens? It's going to append 3 digits, 3 zeros in the beginning. Now X equal to 10 we have. So X equal to initially how much value we have? X equal to it is 1001 it is. So when you move towards right side by how much? 3. So therefore what happens? It is going to add in the beginning 3 digits. So that is 00, then followed by 1. So 0, 0, 1, whatever you have in the right side, they'll be truncated. You are moving it by 3 bits. This is called a shift. Right shift by 3. So what happens is going to push from left to right. Therefore, what happens in this process? In the left side, it's going to be adding 3 zeros, and whatever 1 we have, it comes here. That means x will become now how much? 1 when we do this. Let us see that. I take this here, then inside this, I write here x, which was 2 we put. So in this I write again x bitwise 2. So what result we get from this? This should be 1. Only we have to get 1 from this. Okay. Yes, it's not 1, sorry. Where it is coming exactly? How much I have written? It is 2. So in the case of 2, it is going to be correct, but we have to shift it by 3. I have put 2, that's why we got that result. Because here, how many we are using? We are using 3 bits. So therefore, this time it has to be 1 for us. We have to get only 1. Save this, then run. It's going to be refreshing is required. Then go with this. Now x shift this by right shift by 3 bits. Therefore, it gives 1 here. Same thing we can do with the left shift. So we'll do with the left shifting like this here. Okay. So left shifting is something like this. So when we left shift, what happens? Just tell please. If you go with the left shifting, now right side we were shifting actually, but instead of right side shifting, now we have to shift towards left side. That means what? From right side, data will be moving towards left side. In that process, last 3 bits will be 0. So originally what value we had in that? 1, 0, 0, 1 we had. Therefore, here what happens? It's going to move towards right side. Therefore, it will be 1, 0, 0, 0. That means it should be 8 for us. This should print 8 for us now with this. Execute, click on this. It says 80. So how it can be 80? It's saying 80. How this can be 80? Okay. X value is 10. And here we are shifting it by 3 bits. It says 80. It should be 8, but how it says 80 for us? Let us print here console.log. We try to print here this one as x3. Run once again, refresh it, and click on this. Go with the console. Once again, we have a mistake. Yes. So 80 it says. How this is 80? X value is for us. How much for x we have? It is 1010 we have. Okay, now we have to move this towards left side. But here, remember, yes, remember in a particular byte we have total how many digits? We have here total 8 digits. Now this is moving towards left side. When it's moving towards left side by 3 digits, in the ending it's going to be adding just 3 zeros. So in this process, therefore, what happens? Here it is going to be value, we get value like this: 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, followed by 3 zeros we get. That means in the units position, how much we have? 0, in the 2's position 0, in the 4's position 0, in the 8's position 0, in the 16's position 0, in the 32 position 0, in the 64 position 1. So 64 plus, therefore 16 is here, 80, this is correct. Okay, I was just taking only 4 bits, because of that we could not get But whenever you move towards left side by 3 bits, it's going to be here EIT, we get value. So 10 is becoming here EIT. So like this, here the bitwise operators, they are working for us.